30, so we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, good morning, Misfits. It is May 26, 2020, episode 460. Oh my gosh. Somebody did the numbers, and they said we might be at episode 500 on July 4th. Wouldn't that be just pretty comical how timing would work out? So good morning. As we get started this morning, go ahead and send out your 3 messages of joy, of gratitude, of peace. Why do we send out 3 messages? Well, you can send out more, but the reason 3 is that there's some pretty significant numbers and meanings in 3. And I'd encourage you to send those out, because if you do send those out, you'll find out that some pretty amazing things seem to happen to you on a regular basis, because it gives you space. The way I often describe it to my students is, picture your closet, that closet that you've got to like shove things over to hang things up. Right now, that's where a lot of us are energetically, is we've got so much stuff that we're holding on to in our own world that we can't really get any more anything in, right? We're pretty stuck on our old story. We're pretty stuck on what our new story is, and we really don't have a whole lot of space. So then the question becomes, well, why don't more good things happen to me? And the reason, quite possibly, more good things might not be flowing into you is there's no space. So when you give out energetically, just the same way as if you were to take a whole bunch of clothes off of your clothes rack and donate them, you'd be surprised what happens to you energetically, because your world is used to operating at that full level. The question is what is it going to get filled with? So that being said, the conversation for this morning, which here for the past few weeks, doesn't really matter what the conversation was that I thought it might be. It's the conversation that happens winds up being absolutely amazing, being driven by y'all, is what's it costing defending your old story? Think about what it is that you do. Think about what it is that you have, and then think about what it is that you're shooting for, you're moving towards, you're going with all of your effort towards. The only thing that's holding you back is a belief that you have that's keeping you where you're at. This is why they say we're the average of the 5 people we hang around most. Here's the thing. Jack Walsh, the gentleman who kind of turned around GE, who is noted for this formula of success called Six Sigma. And Six Sigma talks about how you do certain things and you operate in a certain way to keep your business operating at its highest, right? The bottom 10% of the bottom 10% of performers, whether it be in contractors or employees, were usually let go. What would happen if you let go of the people who are in the bottom 10% of your business, or the bottom 10% of your friends? What would happen if you let them go? See, all too often, we hang on to some relationships because they do more for our ego than they do for our energy. Follow me on this. How many times do we have, listen, I can tell you this in 22 years of being in this profession, there were many times where I would spend an awful lot of time with people who are in my community, on my team, in my organization. I would spend time with them because it made me feel good. They made me feel good. But they weren't doing anything. Sean, you're so good. Oh my gosh, I'm just so happy you spend time with me. Thank you so much. I really needed this. I really needed your help today. Thank you. And I'd walk away on cloud 9, but I'd be 2 hours broke. If you all know what I'm talking about, type a B in the chat if you got some folks like that in your world. Yeah. So the challenge is that part of our goodness, our being a kind person, says, well, I don't want to get rid of that. I'm not going to get rid of that. I need them. Well, I don't really need them. They're a pain in my butt, but I love them. I really love them. So here's a leadership lesson. Y'all write this down. Go where your time is deserved, not where it's needed. Go where your time is deserved, not where it's needed. Good morning, Eve. I saw your hand pop up.
Good morning, everyone. I have a question about that specific.
Sure.
When do you see, I'm not talking about those friends. I understand exactly what you mean about those draining friends. They don't, they drain your energy and all these.
Yep.
What about in your business? When you find people, for example, let's say in my case, my coach wouldn't be with me. Not talking about my coach.
Right.
Okay. I am not this high performer or producer. So then what? I don't deserve that time, or my distributor that doesn't produce me like high volume, so then don't deserve my time. Like, I don't know how to balance that out, because I don't want people to feel that because they don't produce sort of amount, then I'm not going to give them my time. I'm not going to be there for them and maybe hurt them or not find the real reason why they're not performing at the best. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
100%, Eve. I've been asked this question 1,000 times in 30 different languages. So you're not alone.
Thank you.
So imagine a mom with 3 kids. Does she pick one to love more than the other? Now, we all know that probably one gets a little bit more favoritism, but you love them all the same. But what if one becomes a doctor and one becomes a ditch digger? Your mother doesn't love them any less. The same thing with your distributors. Here's how you keep yourself from feeling that way you just described, or potentially you could feel. Give them homework. See, when somebody new joins my business, whether anywhere in my organization, I've got 8 countries, 30,000 folks. Anybody joins, they get access to me. But they're going to have to do something small to stay on my calendar.
Okay.
Anybody, listen, you guys have access to me, right? We've had conversations. Most of us on this call, you've reached out to me, whether through Instagram or conversation, or some of us, we've done Zooms. Why do you get my time? Because you deserve it. Not because you need it. I could be on these calls till 2 o'clock this afternoon every day. We could do a 6-hour call and somebody's going to be here. But that doesn't deserve my time. I've got to take care of me and my family. So, Eve, what you do is you give them homework so they can stay on your calendar. People will look at you and say, I want to do this with you. I want to go to the moon with you. I want to be your number one business partner. Outstanding. Give them homework. If you do this, this, and this, right? When you, as an actress, when you get a part, they give you a script. In order for you to keep the part, you got to perform. If you don't perform, they'll find somebody else. It's not that they don't like you, but they have targets they have to hit. So I would encourage you to give your team members targets to hit. It also makes them feel good, right?
Yes.
Have you ever owned an animal? Have you ever had a dog?
Yes.
Have you ever had a cat?
No,
me neither.
No, me.
Yeah, no, I'm not a cat person. I grew up on a farm. We had 30 cats. But dogs become great animals when they're disciplined. When you guide them with love and affection and you give them something to be rewarded for. right? They always come, they want to nuzzle up. And if you go, hey, would you do, they know.
Yeah.
Same thing happens. Listen, when we get into business, this is a business that we're in with a compensation plan called multi-level marketing. But the business we're in is building people, not being nice to people. This isn't a charity. This is a business. But the business is building people, not asking them to sell product. Selling product should be the result, should be the reward they get for building themselves. So that's how you're not being mean, but you're doing the right activities that allow you to deserve time. So let me ask you this. If all of a sudden I said, hey, Eve, I think you're pretty amazing. Could you teach an acting class for me, an hour a day for the next 6 months? You'd say, okay. What's my compensation? Oh, nothing. It's just free. You'd be like, I really don't have a whole lot of time for that. I love you. I think you're neat. I'll give you an hour, but you don't deserve to take away my time unless it's going to reward me. And that's the hard part in this profession, is that we think if we work hard enough for them, follow me on this, they'll work hard enough for themselves. And they may not do that. They've got to start to work harder on themselves than they did before, so that I know where to put my time. Does that help, Eve?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
very
good.
much.
You're the best. Thank you so much. So
I have a question, Sean.
go ahead.
So what kind of systems did you put in place for yourself when you were building teams?
So
Like what kind of homework did you give them?
just simple basic tasks. Just simple basic tasks.
My name is Jeff.
And the simple basic tasks that I gave them were to do some basic homework. Journal. Are they journaling for themselves? Are they taking care of themselves? Are they showing up at events?
Okay.
Right? And it's the very basic of things. Have they checked out the back office? Do they know how to do they know how to log in? Right? Little basic things like that.
Okay.
John, sorry, if you do not give anybody permission to unmute, people cannot unmute themselves. And if people can just like raise their hand to talk, then maybe we can avoid like the people that keep this.
Yeah, I'm watching the chat. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
Thank you
facts.
so much.
Please mute them.
There's people in the waiting room that I haven't allowed to enter yet, Sean.
Yeah, we're just going to leave them there. And
I've kicked a couple out.
yep, it's okay. That's good. Let's see here. So we should be okay now. Should be. We'll see. Now listen, here's the thing. Those folks that come in and do that, that's part of what they do. That's okay what they do, right? So if you do have a question, feel free to raise your hand. And if I recognize you, we'll have a conversation. Hey, is that Julia? I think that's Julia. Yes, unmute. Hey, good morning, Julia. Where are you? There you are. Did I unmute you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I muted you again. Hang on, unmute. There we go. Unmute yourself again, Julia. There you go.
Perfect. Hi, how are you, Sean?
Outstanding. How are you?
Great. What's up, Misfits? Happy to be here. So I have a question, Sean.
Yep.
Like I really struggle with, instead of serving people, like I'm people's therapist, and like one of my biggest reasons and the most important thing that I like ask people when they get started is their why. But
Yep.
often, you know, a lot of people have, most of the people that I attract have like a pretty serious why, and I tend to like really take everybody's baggage on me personally. Like it really like keeps me up at night, and it's something that I like care too much about. Like, how do you disconnect from, and I mean, you talked about that yesterday, but like I really struggle with serving and trying to save people.
So let's get organized on who deserves to be served. Listen, for those of you that are on camera, point to the most important person on this call right now. So that's where the service is. And if you look at it, most everybody, nobody points here. Then the only reason you pointed like this is because of the visual of you seeing yourself on camera. But if we were at an event, everybody would point like this. Subconsciously, everybody points to their heart. So Julia, you're the most important person to take care of. And if you're feeling stuck taking care of everybody else, that's another story. That's where you're looking to get your self-worth. If I take care of them, then I'll be okay. So the hard part is it's about you taking care of you and having a full cup. Imagine if I was running around and I had to go fill up everybody's cup and I had just this much of my shake in here. And I'm going to go, okay, here. And you would be, because that's all you have. You'd be like, okay. And then you'd have nothing left and you'd go, I'll be back. And you'd try to go figure out how to get some back from somebody else. You've got to learn how to fill up your cup. And that, my dear,
but
go ahead.
you often hear that, but how do you actually do that?
You start to give yourself, like you asking this question, here's the crazy thing. But you know what? I can only tell you what works. I'm not telling you theory. I'm not telling you should try it and let me know how it works. For you asking these questions this morning, you need to reward yourself. Yeah, but reward myself for what? I didn't do anything. I haven't done anything, right? That's what just ran through your head. You need to reward yourself for putting yourself out there to sharpen your saw. I don't care if it's a cup of tea. I don't care if it's standing in a mirror and looking at your hair and going, you know, I really love you. You're pretty amazing hair. Start to fall back in love with your possibility. But I'm telling you, what's something you like to do you haven't done? Is there a favorite song you have?
Yeah.
When's the last time you listened to it?
This morning.
Cool. And did it jazz you up? Did it get you going?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you to listen to it again today. And in listening to it again this next time, you say out loud, this is my reward for speaking on the Misfit call this morning. And you're going to go, well, that just feels weird. Go ahead and say it out loud. I'm going to listen to my song and it's a reward for me. No, say it out loud. I want to hear it.
Say it right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to my song and it's a reward for me.
Now, Julia, I'm going to help everybody else understand what happens at a subconscious level. You blinked about 4 times and your head nodded. And listen, this is just human nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's just human nature, because it's like, well, that what your ego revealed to me, if nobody was watching, if nobody was hearing the words, we'd have said, she doesn't really believe that. Whatever it was she just said, she really doesn't believe that. There's some doubt behind it. And this was you just giving yourself permission to listen to a song. Ladies, I love you. You have been given a line of crap. And guys too, but more ladies, because now all of a sudden in today's economy, you got to look sharp, you got to act sharp, you got to be sharp, listen, there's more you've got to do to walk out the door to go get the mail than we ever thought about doing anything. But if you don't do that, you're like, oh, she really doesn't care about herself. But now if you take care of yourself, they go, well, she's kind of a little witch on a broomstick and she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. And so there's no happy medium for you, especially if you're gorgeous and everybody tells you how gorgeous you are. And then it's like, ugh, I can't even go to the mail without having to put on makeup. Right? And now I'm telling you, hey, go listen to a song. Go listen to a song. Have some joy. And you're like, yeah, but I can't do that. If I do that, people are going to call me self-centered. No, I'm going to call you, you're finally going to center yourself. God, how does he do that? How does a farm boy from Ohio do that with words? Because I'm a storyteller.
Did you have that personally?
Oh my gosh. Are you? Yes. That's how I know this works.
Because you serve people like constantly, but you genuinely care, but how do you not get depleted?
Because I have my boundaries. I have my boundaries. I know how to say yes, 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 yes. Oh, hell no. Yes, yes, yeah. Oh, hell no. Yes, yes, yes. No, 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 no. Oh, hell to the no. Yes, no. Yes, yeah. Right? Because I know that my energy, when my energy changes, it affects my son. And if it affects my son, it circles back and affects my bride. I choose to stay in my highest joy. Am I always there? No. An eye for an eye will leave the whole world blind. No, I am not Gandhi. Be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's hard for me to change my clothes someday. I don't know about changing the world. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So again, I know it seems simple, Julia, but we have to start off simple. We make these attempts at world altering ideas and concepts. And sometimes we can't even tie our own shoes.
True.
We have to start off with the simplest of things. When you go listen to the song, every time you listen to the song, you go, this is my reward for being aware. This is my reward for being joyful.
Doing small things repeatedly. Because I guess how we learn it is by repetition and conditioning, so we unlearn it the same way.
So you heard of Jim Rohn, right?
Yes.
And Jim Rohn would say this: a handful of things done consistently every day will help you win, and a handful of things avoided consistently will help you lose.
Gotcha. Perfect. Thank you, Sean.
You bet. Love you tons. So there we go. Just lock the meeting. Y'all are here, they're here. Let's see, who else? Nikita has her hand up. Good morning, Nikita. Nikita, forget it. I'll get it screwed up. Oh, let's see. Where are you? Do I have to unmute you?
Hi.
There you are.
Hi.
Hey, there you are. Good morning. Oh, did we talk last night?
Yes.
Yes. Good morning.
Very good morning. I don't know what's wrong with my camera back then, but very good morning.
Very good morning. She is from India. We chatted last night on my live.
Yes, and I'm so super excited. And thank you so much for giving value first.
Sure.
And yes, I'm saying thank you because I'm overcoming to my fear. Because even now I'm having that heavy heart and I don't know what is there inside, but I am feeling some sort of fear in me and I don't know. And yeah, I am saying thank you. I'm taking your advice, saying thank you to everyone now and practicing gratitude. But I also have one more question to ask that I have some history that I loved somebody so much in very, 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 very deep. And we broke, I think, 2 years ago. But still, he's somewhere there in my heart. And I still miss him. And I
Sure.
don't know how to overcome with that.
Hang on just a second, Nikita. Don't go anywhere. Gigi, are you here? I don't know if Gigi's on this morning.
I haven't seen her yet.
Okay.
Let me keep looking.
Okay. So here's the thing, Nikita. The old story from 2 years ago and the breakup from 2 years ago, the question is you may still have feelings for him. There's Gigi. Hey, Gigi. Gigi, can you hear me? Can't quite hear her.
Oh, there you go. That's why.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. So, Nikita, here's the scenario. That may or may not get back together. That relationship that you have may not get back together, right?
Yeah.
So now the question is there a chance you might come across the new diamond, the new joy in your life, but you can't see him
100%.
because you're wearing the old glasses? So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you you're going to have to start focusing on you in the present now, because every time you think of that story of that old love, you're going back to the past and you're missing out on the moment. Do you know the name Sadhguru?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does Sadhguru always say? He says he gives you a choice. In this moment, you have a choice. Choose joy or choose misery. I'd encourage you to choose joy, because thinking about him doesn't give it, you think it gives you joy, it gives you a longing, but it keeps you in misery.
No, the thing is that I had forgot him, like, I'm not actually missing him in that way, but we are not talking, we are not doing anything. Like, I'm totally in my own world, and I'm very happy person.
Well, you
I
can't
love.
be, listen, I love you. You can't be in
Yeah.
your old world if you ask the question, I miss him, it's 2 years ago, and sometimes I get lost. You're not in your own world. You're not. That's an old story. If he was strong enough to make you overcome the fear to ask me the question, you are not by yourself, my love. You are not in this moment. Because right now, is he in the room?
Mm,
But he's taking up your brain space. You're not alone.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, stop, blah, 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 blah. He's not in the room. You're not alone. But you're sitting alone in your room. Yes, he's taking up brain space that's keeping you from stepping into your next level of joy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd go listen to Sadhguru and a couple of those if you listen to any of that kind of information. And the reason that some of this is, and listen, everybody, for everybody that's on the call, the reason that this is becoming more of a issue for many of us, wanting an old, listen, Les Brown the other day, when I interviewed Les Brown the other day, he said, man, I wish 2019, I'm so sorry I was mean to you. I'd want you back. Oh, can we just send 2020 to its room because it's been mean? I'd love you back, 2019. Right? That's Les Brown. What you've convinced yourself of, and many of us do this, is that if I could just have another chance, I'd have been better. Here's the question. You have a chance right now to be better. The hard part is it's you're going to be better for you and not for him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. Listen, it's easy for me to sit 8,000, 12,000 miles away from you and go, oh, forget about him. No, you can't. But what you can do, here's the difference. You can't forget about him. That's been wired in your brain. But you know what you can do little by little? Remember more about you. You don't have to cut that memory out. That was a good memory. That was a memory that brings you smiles. But you know what's a memory that'll bring you joy is remembering who you are in this moment. It's okay for you to be you. Now, I understand culturally, I understand a variety of things, that arrangements and a variety of other stuff, and people don't know that still exists. Listen, my mother set me up on a blind date. And so, yeah, it was kind of an arranged marriage. And my mother never even met the girl. She got a picture of her and told me, that's going to be your wife. I'm like, what? It didn't have the same cultural meaning as it does in your country. But all I can tell you is this, Nikita, hear me. You are special. I don't know this other guy. I don't need to know this other guy. I know you, and you are special.
Yes.
Does that help?
Yeah, a lot.
Yes, good.
Yes.
So journal.
Thank you.
Journal and remember the things that you're good at in this moment. Oh, when the feeling starts to come around of that old story, look around and go, you're not in the room. I need to take care of me. I know it sounds crazy, and I'm looking at the smiles and people laughing going, oh, I'm glad she asked it because that's how I've been feeling. Look at all the laughs. Exactly. I'm glad she asked it. Nikita, you're getting tons of props from a lot of the ladies on the call. And there's guys that are the same way. I remember when my first girlfriend broke up with me. You want to know the truth? I don't even think she knew she was my girlfriend.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I'm like, why doesn't she like me? She didn't even know my name, I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe she knew my name. But I get it. I'm only speaking from experience. I'm not a physician. I don't have a degree in anything other than human nature. And I'm going to speak to you in a way that if I was your older brother, I'd be saying, listen, I know you care for him, but I care for you more, and it's time for you to care for yourself more.
Yes.
So there you go.
100%.
Does that help?
Yes, a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
Welcome to Sean. Welcome to the Mornings with Sean, the Morning Drive with Sean's, where we work on everything from internal relationships to external relationships. Let's see, Moshe. Good morning,
Hey,
Moshe.
Sean.
Yes.
Real quick, did you lock the Zoom?
I did.
Okay, Brittany was trying to get in. Is there a way we can put her in or no?
Yep, she can come in. I've unlocked the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning, Moshe. Moshe, you there, brother? Maybe I need to give him permission to unlock. Maybe. Let me see here. Participants. Close the chat. There's Moshe. Where's Moshe? There he is. Unmute. Can you unmute now, Moshe? Okay.
You unmuted me.
I did, because it keeps moving.
Oh, gotcha. I'll mute myself.
Go ahead, Latoya. Go ahead, Latoya.
Okay, well, good morning. Great
Good
day,
morning, Latoya.
it's a pleasure to be on these calls every day.
Interesting. Everybody's signal's getting wonky.
Okay,
There's
I'm
Heather.
unmuted now.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm struggling with accepting the fact that I have to be that I have to speak to people,
Okay.
and I've always been the guy that likes to be in the background,
Right.
because I'm very introverted and extroverted at the same time, but I
Right.
think I prefer to be introverted.
Right.
So what advice would you give me to kind of, other than just to keep talking, Like,
Right.
what are some skills that I can or classes that I can take to kind of get out of this
So,
nervousness that
so the nervousness you have, the difference between a professional speaker and a non-professional speaker is that we both get butterflies. We both get nervous. Professional speakers just learn how to teach the butterflies to fly in formation.
Okay.
So the question then becomes, what's your mantra before you speak?
I don't have any. I just do it.
Yeah, see, that's where you lose your edge, is that you don't have a mantra before you speak. Mine is to do no harm.
Okay.
And
then,
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
And
go
then
ahead.
also something else that I struggle with is thinking that if I like when I do start impacting people and getting a lot of attention, I don't know if I'm going to be prepared like for that, because I keep listening to you saying, are you ready to receive the love?
Right.
And also the hate. Like I think I'm ready for the hate. Like
Yeah, but I never asked that. That's never come out of my mouth. Are you ready to receive the hate?
no, I know that's never come out
I
of
know.
your mouth, but
But
yeah.
I'm going to encourage you, don't use that.
Okay. Okay, I won't.
Because if you're ready to receive it, guess what has to show up? And then you have to put it in a box somewhere in your soul and go, okay, I'll clean that out later.
Okay. It's just one of those things that I know I'm doing it, and I'll continue to do it. It's just something that really does make me nervous, because I don't want to do any harm to anyone.
So
well.
here's the thing. So now ask yourself, what's your intention behind what you're about to do? Is it to get or to give?
To give.
So then how could you hurt anybody?
Correct.
The conversation I just had with a 20-year-old Nikita in India, who says to me, I have an old relationship that's 2 years ago, but I still have thoughts about him, and it keeps me unfocused. What authority do I have to speak to her saying, well, it's probably not serving you and it's time for you to take care of yourself, in an Indian culture where arranged marriages still happen? Well, because that's what I heard. To say it with honor and love and respect. And does that help? Does that make sense? Yes, it helps a lot. Okay, good. That's how I can show up. Now, I may get it totally wrong. I may swing and a miss. Yet if I stay in my true self, if I'm responsible to you, not for you, then we can have a conversation to where you're going to get the downloads. Moshe, you've proven you get downloads regularly. You get whispers. A lot of people call them different things. You and I may call them the same thing, the Holy Spirit.
Yes, sir.
So I pay attention to those, because when you're not paying attention to those, that's when ego gets in the way. And sometimes the best speech we could give starts off with, how may I be of service?
And I've also realized through you saying that to me, it's I used to be made fun of a lot about my voice.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my fear to speak comes from that.
Sure. Now use it to your advantage. You have a unique voice. Leverage it.
Okay, I will.
And you can say things like, when I get up on stage, when I stand in front of the ANMP, last year, 2,000 people. Most of the people in the audience know me. But I'll get up there and look out at the crowd because you can't see them when the lights are on. And I'll say, y'all, I'm going to make some mistakes. If I make some mistakes, can I count on y'all? Raise your hand if I can count on y'all. I may say some things backwards, and I'm going to be looking in your eyes, and you're going to look like I got two heads because I don't know what I just said. Somebody's going to have to tell me I said something wrong. Well, y'all, can I count on y'all? And now all of a sudden, it takes the pressure off of them because if you show up nervous, your audience gets 10 times nervouser. I don't know if that's a word. But the reason they get more nervous is because they want you to win. They want you to win. And you can, and I would work on having some phrases that allow you to make your voice, the sound of your voice, accented. Because now here's the great news. What you used to be made fun of meant you were memorable more than anybody else. Now you don't have to work so hard.
Okay.
Right? If I saw your picture on a billboard, I would probably say, this is the rabbi speaker. And then throw the name Moshe in there, Israel. Yeah. He's the rabbi speaker. So I would leverage it.
Thank you.
And have fun all too often. You hear what I do on these calls. It's to engage people, to take the pressure off. So let me ask everybody, if this conversation has had an effect on you between Moshe and I, if this conversation is of value to you, drop an M in the chat. The challenge with not having a live audience is that it's very difficult to get the audience to engage with you. That's one of the challenges that Les has, and is that he's used to the roar of the applause. So when I have him on my events, and when I did the interview with him with Kyle Wilson, I unmuted everybody on the call and let him at least hear the roar of the crowd. Now, the roar would only come across as loud as the volume of his speaker was, but you could see his whole body morph when he heard people. He was absolutely bringing joy to people.
It's amazing.
So just engage the audience. Give them a chance to give you feedback. They want you to be there. They want to be with you. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, sir.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Moshe.
Thank you.
Let's go to LaToya. Let's see if her signal's back up and running.
Yes.
Good morning,
Hello?
LaToya.
Yes. So, okay. Well, I didn't lose my train of thought, but anyways, so when I get the aha moment, so I apply it, right?
Right.
And I don't really like prospect anymore. I conversate. You know, I have a conversation, and it became much more easier to have people engaged. And I thank you, Sean, because you know, I didn't want to always sound like I was a saleswoman, you know. I didn't want to come with that kind of approach, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here, this is what I have, you know. But those I open them up and get to know them and build a relationship first, like just how you did it. I did it through small steps, just like warm it up, you know, just like, okay, let me see how this is gonna go. And then it came to me, just said, Toy, just be you, just have fun, just conversate, just hey, say hey, how you doing? And oh my gosh, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for that. It made it much more.
But LaToya, I love you. You gotta thank you. Remember, don't be giving me all the praise. I don't walk on water. Thank you, because you can thank me for giving you the idea, but don't ever forget to thank you for the one that made the transition. Okay. Right? If books were supposed to do what books were supposed to do, we'd only have to read it once, and there'd only need to be one book.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got thousands of books, and we've got billions of sentences that people can read and interpret, and we're still trying to figure out how to be happy after 5,000 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years. We're still trying to figure out how to be happy. And when you do find somebody that's happy, like you just expressed, I would hold you in the highest of regards, and I would encourage you to thank you for the joy you gave yourself.
Well, I appreciate that, Sean. I think what it is, I think paying it forward, just giving it back to you, it's just like, I think it's from old paradigms,
It is.
Like
And listen, I can accept, thank you for giving me the idea, but
okay.
And I receive that. I love that. But
right.
It's not thank you for making me. No, it's thank you for letting me.
Okay.
Right? There's a huge difference. And too many mentors, too many coaches are be okay with you saying, "Hey, LaToya, thanks for making me better. You're welcome." You dumbass. Nobody made you better. You made you better.
Gotcha.
And they'll be sitting there going, "Look at what I did. These are my people." And then when all of their people leave, they complain about you're not good enough. All these people left my organization, and I need to go jump to a new company where I can get a new deal, and I can go get a whole bunch more people who will sit at my feet and tell me how good I am. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
You're amazing, LaToya. Listen, here's the other thing. You've always been.
Thank you. Yes, you know what? I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You damn Skippy, I've been good.
I looked in the mirror and it was a little different. It was like, you know what? So you got this, like I could put on the makeup a little different, and I was one of those like, let me put on the makeup, put on and dress up and this is this. And people just be like, oh my God, where you going? And they'll have the look on their face like, where you going? Oh, you're gonna look like that? And then I'm like, what? It almost had me second guess what I was wearing. Well, maybe it was just been too much, but then that was like my confidence because I always like to get out and present myself.
Yep.
That's just me, and I didn't do it like to cover up like what's hidden inside. I did it more like because that's how I feel. I love to add color. So it was like people were like, oh, and then I started kind of dressing down. I would come out with the sweatpants and the shirt and some tennis shoes and stuff.
Right.
And then I didn't feel like myself, but I look in the mirror a little different now, y'all.
There you go. You're the best, LaToya. Thank you. Thank you for a couple of things. Thank you for being vulnerable, right? You've been on here a couple of days where you are absolutely just raw as they get, right, with your brother and dealing with situations. And then you've been the one that's been the encourager and the one who's been giving the praise. So I just want to thank you for always showing up and being the best you in the moment. So thank you, my love.
Yes, you're welcome. Oh, and one more thing.
Sure.
One more thing too. Nikita,
Yep.
She was talking about her. I could relate to that. I'm telling you, you have to let that go. Because you probably already touched on this. I had a little bit of technical difficulties on my end. Yep. But when people see you when they see that you could do better than them, that low frequency try to override your high frequency, and you deserve so much better. I went through that, and I dealt with that for almost 5 years with someone, and I kept going back and forth. After 3 or 4 months, it was back to the same thing, till I had to make a decision to be a better person. It was hard. But that was only because I thought it was hard. But it actually got simpler when I started knowing who I am and that I know better and I deserve better and I went for better. So yes, and that's just my takeaway from right there. Thank you all. Love you all. And Moshe, keep speaking. Embrace the greatness within you because you're a great person. Love you all. Take care. Grateful.
Awesome. Thanks, LaToya.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Daniela. Hello, Daniela. Did I see her with like the biggest, sexiest glasses on? Yeah, there she is. Hello, my love.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Outstanding. How are you?
Oh, I'm in my car.
Yep.
This morning. Yeah.
Yep.
I got 3 children upstairs sleeping.
Okay.
So I had to hide. So I wanted to start off and say I'm glad that you admit that you're human. So I was beginning to wonder. Because I was like, man, Sean's got to have some kind of bad days. I'm like, I'm so hard on myself when I have bad days.
So you want to know a secret that I do to deal with my bad days?
Yeah.
I started 460 episodes ago to pull my head out of my butt and show up for people that want me to show up for them, that are asking me to show up for them. So I have to absolutely set that aside and show up for you so that I get to be of service.
Yep. Doesn't that feeling
Again,
come back and creep up on you?
Yeah. Well, say one more time.
Doesn't that feeling come back and creep up on you?
It does. It's why I have somebody like a Rhonda Parker where I can call and I say, listen, put the phone down. And she puts the phone down and I can scream and holler in the phone, sons of beehives and blah, 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 and jackasses and yada, yada, yada. And then when she stops hearing noise in the phone, she'll pick it up. She goes, are you done yet? Almost. Put it back down. Blah, 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 blah. You've got to have your team. You got to have your team.
Daniela, you would be shocked at some of the messages that go back and forth between Sean and I.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, and then double it. And now you're getting close. Because life is life.
Yeah. I just been so, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Okay. How about if we start right now?
Angry.
Right. But right now you're sitting in a car. Is there anything to be angry at in the car?
No.
Then who's the crazy one? You have a car. You're sitting in your car, right? You didn't break into somebody's car, right?
No, I'm sitting in my car.
Okay, good. So you have a car. Is there anybody out there that doesn't have a car?
Yeah.
Yeah, so suck it up. You got a car. What else do you have that most don't have? You got 3 kids that are sleeping upstairs, right?
Yes.
And the reason that you're going through this challenge right now is because you're going through a breakthrough. Well, if this is what breakthroughs feel like, here, listen, everybody listen. If this is what breakthroughs feel like, I'll be damned if I'm going to do this again. This sucks. And it does.
It does suck.
It does
you can't
suck.
explain it.
Yeah, well, here's why. You're an addict right now. If we were to sit there and just watch your motions, everybody can tell you're addicted to something right now. We just don't know that it's an old story. Somebody could watch your motions with the big glasses on and go, "Oh, she's high right now. She needs a fix. She needs a fix. She needs a hit up." Right? The way you're playing with your hair. This is this is human nature. This is why it's so predictable. You are entering into a breakthrough. You are giving up your old story. When have you ever sat on this call in the car?
Never.
Never. So wouldn't it be fair to say that something you've never had is about to show up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is that saddening? You've had a shitstorm in your life. You've been through them.
Yeah.
You can deal with those. The challenge is you don't know how to deal with joy showing up in your life. You don't know how to deal with.
Right, I don't know how to act.
I know, exactly. So how do you think joyful people act?
Happy.
Well, so what is what? Oh, look at that. Look at that. See, you said it and it showed up. You said it and it showed up.
Oh, because I'm hearing myself like, oh, you just answered the most common sense answer in the world.
Right? But you had to go to your car to get it. And what would typically happen is that somebody would try to talk you out of, oh, well, Daniela, I'm sorry that you're sad. Tell me about your sad. I don't give a rat's butt about your sadness because it's an old story. You're breaking through. I'm here to serve you. I'm not here to be your servant, to walk you through this misery and let me wire in more of what's not right in your world. What's right in your world? Is the sun out where you're at? Don't lie to me. I can
beautiful. See. It's beautiful. No, it's not. It's miserable and raining.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So the sun is out and you're smiling again. Do you see what happens when you absolutely awaken to the polarity of life.
Yeah.
You can't even tell yourself it's miserable. But
I
that's the
know.
outside world. But see, you're trying to tell yourself you're miserable, but there's joy running inside of you at such a level right now that the only way to keep it pegged up and the only way to keep it penned in is to get madder. I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
I
It's just
love you.
crazy.
I love you. This is the old story. It's the old story.
And as I'm listening, I think her name is Nikita.
Yes.
As I'm listening to her talk, and I'm like, I swear, every time I miss a day and I come back, it's like right in my face, like, hey, you missed a day, but I'm just going to go harder on you.
Go big or go home, baby.
Right?
So here's the thing. You want to see the craziest of things? You want to hear the crazy story behind you right now?
Mm.
You got your butt up out of your house to go sit in the car to have this conversation. Who's the crazy one? Who's the crazy one?
I'm not admitting.
See, here's the funny thing, my love. Listen to this. The part of you that's frustrated would have stayed in the house. The one that wants the joy walked this old pain in the ass story down the steps, out across the parking lot, opened the car and sat in it. And now you're sitting here waiting to have a conversation with us. And that's the joyful one. Do you realize what you did for yourself this morning?
No, not
I know.
really.
No, but now you realize, wait a minute. The old me would have just not even gotten on the call.
No, or I would have just stayed in bed and laid there and listened to the
Right.
call.
And taking it out on Kevin later on or Mateo.
Yes.
But now you didn't. So listen carefully. This may make you tear up. Do you realize how good you are of a mom and as a partner? No.
Honestly,
No.
no.
No. But
No,
I need
because
you
I
to
feel like
hear
I'm
this.
doing everything wrong.
Yeah, but wrong would have been to stay to not get on this call. Wrong would have been to not make yourself vulnerable. Look at all of the right you did. It's right there, happening right in front of you. And sometimes we can't even see what we're doing to serve others. There was a little sigh of relief. It's okay to be you. And it's okay to be the happy you. So you ready? You ready for this? Watch this. We're going to have a pity party and it'll all be over. 1, 2, 3. Aww. Now it's over. See, told you. I love you.
I love you too, Sean.
Isn't this crazy? Isn't this crazy what we do? I mean, you want to talk about insane. Listen, hey, everybody, check out the chick in the red shirt. She got up out of her house. She walked outside her house to go sit in a car by herself and have a conversation with some nut job from Texas. Who's the crazy one here? This is what it takes to break old habits. See, they say old habits are hard to break. You know what else is hard to break? Larry Thompson says this. Good habits are hard to break. But nobody ever says that crazy stuff. We just say old habits are hard to break.
I've been trying to get on a call with Moshe for like the past 3 days and it hasn't been working.
Outstanding. Do I need to put the two of you in a room and get you on a call?
Yes.
Cool. Moshe, you're going to call her right after this. Does he have your phone number?
I don't know. Maybe Jen gave it to him. I'll look.
Well, how the hell are you supposed to connect?
I think Jen gave it to him.
I don't care about Jen. It's you and Moshe. Why are we putting our joy in somebody else's hands?
Because that's how we connected. Because I was talking to Jen.
I don't care. So Moshe, do you guys have each other's Instagram? What am I have to be like your parents? Sit your butts down and we're going to fix this right now. Do you have each other's Instagrams?
I have no idea. Yes, probably.
Oh, no wonder you're moping around. Listen, I want all the money in the safe. Do you have the combination?
I don't have the combination.
Well, so I'm going to sit here and bitch and moan. But Moshe has the combination. Why don't you call him? Well, Jen connected us.
Oh.
What kind of happy crap story is that?
Happy?
Yeah. I love you. So somebody type in give each other right now your Instagram so I can be done with this craziness. So where's Eve?
Happy crap.
Eve, this is Eve, here's a perfect example. I don't have to be on their call, but my job to serve them is for them to get their butts on a call together. Now, I've done the most I could do, and I'm done with it. I don't have to worry about, but tomorrow I'll ask them, did you guys talk? Well, we sent each other a message. All I can do is all I can do, and that's all I could do. Now, if they asked me, could you get on a call with us to get them on the call together? Yes, they deserve that because I know these two souls. But do I need to sit on a call for 4 hours with them? Because that's probably what the first call will be. Because they're like, oh my gosh, oh my God. You like cranberries? I like cranberries. Do you like screw that. I'm out of here. So go where your time is deserved, not where it's needed. Oh, there's Daniela. Hi, Daniela. What the hell are you doing in the car?
I came out, tucked myself.
Isn't it amazing?
No.
This is what mentorship is supposed to do, to help you do things you didn't know you could do. Listen, it is not anybody's right to be sad. That is your choice. It is your right to be happy. It is your right to be rich. Because if you're rich, do you serve Kevin better? If you're rich, do you serve Mateo better?
Yeah.
So it's your right to be rich.
I think I would serve everybody and anybody around me if I was rich.
Yep. But richness has nothing to do with money. Money is nothing more than energy. And when you decide to be rich in energy, what you resist persists. I don't have money. Guess what money says? You ain't got me. I ain't got you. Money is running around. Oh, this just hit me. Y'all ready? RBP, you ready for this? Money is running around saying, I don't have Daniela. Money is running around saying, I ain't got Daniela. I don't have Julia. I need tequila. I need me some tequila, baby. And it's running around going, how the heck do I find them? Y'all want to know a secret? In my mailbox out front, in the back of my mailbox is a picture of money. And it says, you're welcome here. And you're all like, how do you get checks that just show up? I tell money, get your butt over here. I'll love you. I will love you. I will spend you. I will save you.
This might sound weird speaking of that. Sean.
Yes.
I think I'm a little bit afraid of money.
Yes, we all are. Absolutely. And I'll use Jim Rohn's favorite word, until. You got $10,000 shows up today. What would you do with it?
Invest it.
No, you wouldn't. It's $10,000 that'll show up every day. What would you do with it?
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I would start.
That's the old story. That's the old story. I'll be disciplined with it. No, you invest
actually,
some
I wouldn't.
of it.
To be honest with you, I would invest some of it, and the other rest, I would probably go blow it.
You would, but you do it not necessarily all on yourself. You would include Mateo in it.
No, I wouldn't. Not on myself.
No,
actually, it probably would. None of it would actually go to myself.
So you're going to start. Do you want to learn how to blow money on yourself? Listen, everybody. Here's a secret. Here's a secret. Y'all pay attention. This will put 2 commas in your world. And if you understand money, you understand what 2 commas means. Start to blow $1 on yourself today. People tell me all the time, if Gupta was on here, she's from the UK. We had a one-on-one, and she said, I want to feed the world. I want to feed the hungry. For the last now probably 45 days, every day she's fed one person. Her kids are involved in cooking the meals. Do you know how much joy she gets from watching her kids cook these vegan meals, these amazing meals, to put it in a wrap to go hand it? Just hand one away. And maybe some days they get crazy and they feed 2 homeless people. Do you think that really matters? It does to those 2 people. So I'm going to ask you, Daniela, figure out a way to go blow $5 on you today. Go drive through Starbucks. You're in the car. Get your ass over to a Starbucks if you like it and go, You see what happens? Now you need to buy that and say, this is my reward for me. We're waiting to reward the world with all of our efforts. And the world goes, you can't do this anymore. You're empty inside. You can't continue to reward the world. And it puts blocks in your way until you realize that you're important. Daniela, you get sick. Does Mateo suffer a little?
Yeah. Not a little, a lot.
You ready for this? You all ready for this?
Yeah.
You know I love you. Because you suffer in money, does Mateo suffer? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd encourage you to get healthy in money. Yeah. You know, Sean, I liked you up until about 2 seconds ago. So here's the good news. The way you do this, my love, is you start spending some money on you, that it's okay.
Okay.
That Starbucks that you just bought, have you ever bought one and went, I really shouldn't have bought this, and then you drink it anyways? Yeah. Start to say, this is my reward for walking down to the car today and having just the craziest ass story conversation with Sean.
I like, as you're talking, I'm just sitting here like, how many times I felt guilty of like buying something where I'm like, why do I feel guilty? There's no reason. It's not like I didn't have the money to buy it.
But did you buy it anyways?
Yeah.
So then you had the money. Look at the lies.
No, I did. I'm saying like, I felt guilty like I didn't, but I did.
Yeah, but guilty is what gets us into action. You didn't feel guilt, you felt shame.
Okay.
Yeah, and shame is what causes us to beat ourselves up. Like if you go to the beauty salon,
Yesterday.
there's certain things you can do to your hair, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain things you could do to your hair that could be a $30 cut or a $300 cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go get a $300 cut all the time?
Because it's the same as the $30 cut.
Well, that's your story.
Mm.
Have you ever had a $300 cut?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had and I forgot his name. One of the names of the salon, Tony and Guy, and then there's somebody else.
No.
But if you ever had like a Tony and Guy, one of the echelons, one of the, a level 5 director, but even ones above that, where the same $70 cut, but from them is $2,000. Would you ever go get a $2,000 haircut?
I don't think so.
Why not? I've flown stylists to Europe to cut my hair.
I don't know.
Why would I do that? Because somebody else needed to have the story.
I see.
It gives somebody else the courage to say, if he could do it, I could do it. If a farm boy from Ohio can fly a stylist from the United States to Europe because he's there too long, why not?
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
all too often we think this is only for us, but here's the thing. When you go take care of you, guess what Mateo thinks he can do?
Take care of himself.
Yeah. So here's the hard part. You're a great mom. Can you get better?
Of course.
So start taking care of you so he knows it's okay to take care of you. And if you take care of you, he'll meet women when they take care of them. He'll honor and respect them and not call them a witch on a broomstick.
I see.
Welcome back.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
Pretty amazing the story we tell ourselves, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And all you need is just that one. It's not even a whole sentence. It's that one word just to get you back into like, hey, it's okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
I love you tons. Hey, listen, again, thank yourself for having the courage to come out there. Because when I saw the glasses on earlier, I went, ooh, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm like SpongeBob. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. I love you bunches.
I love you too.
Okay. So let's go to Paramet. I think that's how you say it. I'm probably saying it incorrectly, and I apologize. P-A-R-M-E-E-T. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Hey, how's it going?
Outstanding. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm so happy and grateful that you took time to let me in actually speak. So I'm excited.
Great to see you at Home Depot.
No, I'm at my job right now. I'm at a
Oh, cool.
pharmaceutical plant. So
Awesome.
yeah.
How can I be of service?
Yeah, so awesome. So my question for you is, so obviously I started my network marketing company. I've been a part of network marketing for the last 6 years, but it seems like I always stumble into the same problem where I manifest people that are just like, they're excited to get going within the first within the first month, but then they fall back on the idea where they're not emotionally attached to their goal, so they don't get excited and want to keep going forward in the next couple of months, and they almost just like kind of stagger around. I can't promote them to go out there and like have the same vision like I have. Like I'm hungry, I'm motivated, I'm out there working every day, but I can't seem to attract the same people who are like ready to be runners and like crush the business. Like I get too many people in the business that come and join, and in the first month they're excited, they have goals, they have ambitions, and then they fall back, and then they're paying for the monthly, but they're not getting excited. No matter how hard I like schedule weekly calls to them to try to bump them up, try to like motivate them with some like. So I'm into thinking into results program with Bob Proctor.
Right.
I paid the full investment, so now I'm trying to give back to my entire team and providing knowledge, wealth, and all these wonderful, skills that I'm developing and sharing all that for free. I tell these guys every time, like, look, I'm paying $7,500, but I'm giving all this content for free because I want you guys to have the most ample amount of success. Like, I want to give back to you guys so you guys can get to the top, but I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself.
So here's the question. It sounds like you want to keep pushing the information on them and they're not yet ready to receive it. So the question is, so what I would encourage you to do, and say your first name for me so I'm saying it correctly.
It's Parmeet.
Parmeet. So Parmeet, I would encourage you to go back with what's called the apology approach. And the apology approach is this. If I were the one in your shoes, I'd say, hey, Parmeet, listen, dude, I got to apologize. For what? I wanted this more for you. And I guess evidently you thought you were working for me and nobody wants a second job. So I apologize. Let me ask you this. And here's the key to this, Parmeet. Listen carefully. Parmeet, let me ask you, remember that dream you had when we got started? And role play with me. If you're one of those people, do you remember that dream you had when we got started?
Yes, I do.
Is it still alive? Is that still a dream worth working for?
Yes, I believe so.
Do you have a system in place? Do you currently have a program or system in place that's pretty much guaranteed to help you achieve that? And yes is an okay answer, and so is no.
I guess no, as there's no system in myself, I guess, to promote that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If I do better at being a business partner and being a teacher and a trainer, if I can be better at it and help you learn the system that I'm being taught by one of the world's greatest, Bob Proctor, could I share that with you? Could we work together on you reaching your dreams?
Yes, we could.
So that's what I would encourage you, because here's the thing. A couple of things happen. One of two reasons happen, Permeet, is that either they saw they don't have the courage to learn what you're learning. Nobody wants to work as hard as you. So they said, I can't do what Parmeet's doing, so I'm not going to do it. Or they said, I don't know if I'm qualified. I don't know if if my mindset will let me have these goals. Either way, it was on their lives, not yours, that they quit. Now, your challenge as a sponsor, your challenge as a leader in this profession is to say, you know what? I might have pushed them too hard. So I would encourage you, just like we've had the conversation with Eve earlier, is what can you do to give them homework to see if their dream is real? Actually, tomorrow we're going to do an exercise. We're going to take 5 minutes and you're going to do an exercise, and I'm going to show you something that will absolutely change your business. And what it is it finds the one thing that's important to them. And you'll be surprised, the one thing that's important to them, they didn't know was important to them.
Okay.
So Parmeet, if you've got a whole bunch of people that joined you in business, I would encourage you, and listen, they're not in your business now, right? If you
they are. Oh, sorry.
Well, but maybe they're not working, they're not building, they're not doing all of this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back and say you're sorry, you go back and you apologize to them, whether they do the business or not, you've now at least cleared up the air to say that maybe you were just a little bit too much of a hard ass on them, trying to get them to calls, trying to get them to do all this stuff. And they're like, crap, if he's got to do all this to get us to work, I can't do this. So it's not about working less hard. It's about working in a way that allows them to raise their hand. See, I called on you this morning because you did what?
I raised my hand.
There's 116 other people on the call. Why aren't I calling on them? Why aren't I calling on, I'm just looking at the names here. Eduardo, how come you don't have questions? I'm 22 years. I'm a 3-time #1 best-selling author on Amazon. I've stood in 30 countries. Eduardo, why aren't you asking me questions? Do you think Eduardo would come back tomorrow?
No.
But it sounds crazy if I were to do that, but isn't that kind of what you were doing? You were doing it with loving and caring and wanting them to succeed, but you got to give them a chance to raise their hand.
Okay. So another question.
Please go ahead.
Well, so kind of to elaborate on that. So there are a few people, so I've kind of come to the conclusion that there are going to be a few people in the business that I just can't, push to go out there and like be who they want to be in the business. So like, particularly I had somebody the other day in my business, in my downlines business, admit to me on a call that, he hasn't been putting the work in. He does apologize, or he sees that I'm putting my, my hand gesture out there to go help him run his business, but he's been fully admitting that he just doesn't have the willpower after he spent the money to go out there and like really have a passion for the business. Like he just feels like every time he has to go out there and do the work, he just realizes it's going to be more than what he signed up for, and he just falls back into the same comfort zone where he just wants to do his normal life. He doesn't want to get out there and make any big impact. So with those people, when they're fully admitting that, do I still pursue them, or do I just kind of let them hang? Because how do I help somebody that's going to admit that? But even after he's admitting that, I'm giving him like some simple tasks to do to kind of get him started. Like I'll tell him like, if you want to kind of get, so our business model is more revolved around trading. So if I tell him, okay, if you want to get involved in trading, I'm going to send some introduction videos, like 3 or 4 of them, which are not that long. Just watch them. They'll give you like an insight of how to kind of get your foot wet. Because obviously you're not ready to kind of dive deep into the water yet. So let me get your foot wet. Then we'll kind of see where we go from that point. But even then, after getting the simple videos, he doesn't want to jump on it. Like he tells me pretty much like, yeah, I haven't watched this video either. I'm like, I can't help you if you're not willing to take action. So those people, do I just let them sink or swim, or do I just even bother like putting the effort in? Like,
so a couple of things. One, don't give them 3 or 4 videos. Give them 1 video.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving people too much decision to make on their own. If you're supposed to be their enroller and their sponsor and they say, I need help them take the next step. And here's the thing. If I were to give you if I were to give you a video, I'd say, hit me back up when you're done watching that video. And that'd be the last time I speak to you. Now, when my schedule allows me, I may check back in on you in a week and go, hey, Parmeet, remember you said you were going to watch the video? I'm not sure if you watched it yet. Let me know when you've watched it. That's as much time as I would spend with you. I go where my time is deserved, not where it's needed. I'm not running a daycare. I'm not running an adult daycare center. I get paid for two things: to find customers and build leaders. I've chosen to get very good at building leaders, as you can tell from my conversations. Ask me if I know my company's comp plan.
You know your company's comp plan?
No. Do you know your company's comp plan?
Yes.
Yeah, see, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Now that you know your company's comp plan, how many people have you been able to enroll on the comp plan?
70 people.
Yeah? How many are working?
Say at least like 40.
Yeah? So what happened to the other 30? You wasted your time?
I guess, yeah, you can say that I wasted my time. They're still active, but they just don't put the work in.
So the 40 people, how many of them have sponsored people?
A good chunk of them. They've rank advanced and they've achieved at least the first rank in the company.
Outstanding. So then where's the issue? Why are you not working with just those people?
I am working with them, but I guess I'm more, I guess that's true. I'm more focused on the people that are not working, and I'm trying to help them as much as I can. And the people that are working, they're getting less of my focus.
So do you have children?
No.
Okay. So imagine, did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes.
Imagine if you were the one that every night after dinner, you cleaned up all of the plates, but your mom and dad kept working with the other kids, your other brothers and sisters, saying, well, you guys are amazing. You just keep the table so clean and you wash all the dishes. And you're like, I'm doing all the work. That's how your team feels right now. And they're going to disengage because you're spending time with the people that you're trying to breathe life back into. Right? In our profession, we have a saying, it's easier to give birth than raise the dead. So I would encourage you to go back and work with the people who are working. And those that don't, guess what's going to happen? Those that aren't getting your attention, they're all of a sudden going to raise their hand and go, hey, Parmeet, where the hell did you go? How come you're not calling me every day to try to inspire me and try to motivate me? Well, you didn't do the homework. Let me know when you're ready to do the homework. You don't get paid to push a rope.
No, I don't.
No, so I'd encourage you to stop doing that.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, and here's what my daddy said. If it makes sense, guess what? It'll make dollars. Yay.
Very true.
Listen, there's a part of you that wants to serve people, because I'm going to speak to your psyche now. There's a part of you that feels you don't deserve the success that happens automatically, that you need to go sacrifice a little bit more to help those. You want to bring everybody along. Listen, Jim Rohn said it best. You can carry one person, maybe two people on your back, but you can't carry three. Go work with the people that want to be worked with. Go take 5 to the top. Ask me how many people I've sponsored in my life. Ask me how many people I've sponsored in my life. About 50 in 22 years. So you've sponsored more people than I have. Who do you think has a bigger check right now? Not trying to complain, not trying to compare.
You.
Just a little bit, not by much. But the people I sponsor with become part of my family. That's why there's people that want me to sponsor them, and I won't. I'll say, you know what? You're best suited over here. And I've made some mistakes with where I've put people. That happens. In 22 years, I'm allowed to make mistakes. But I will work with the people that I work with directly. They're closer than family.
Okay.
So I would encourage you, find your handful. My mentor used to say it this way, find your 7. You know why he'd say find your 7? Because it's the 6 who will carry you out when you die.
Very
And
true. That
find a-
makes sense.
And find a spare, because somebody could just turn out to be a butthead. but find those core, and then give those people everything you got. Does that make
Alrighty,
sense?
awesome. It does. It makes very much sense. And I
Thanks,
do
Permit.
appreciate your time.
Thanks, Permeat. I appreciate you, brother. Manny, let's go to Manny. Good morning, Manny. There he is. Superstar. And can you unmute, brother? There you go.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Did you just wave at me like a 2-year-old?
I said I can't talk.
Oh, I thought you were going, hi, hi,
Hi.
hello, you're so cute.
So I wanted to tell you about Sunday, but I kind of pinpointed it back to Friday.
And 2 Thursdays ago, there was this amazing thing that happened. Go ahead.
So Friday, right? I trade, blah, 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 blah. So I entered the trade and it ended up losing. And part of me was upset that it lost.
Yep.
So I wanted to, it's called revenge trade. I wanted to try and get it back. And I've done it so many times.
Yep.
And then at that point, it's just gambling. It wasn't like the trade I lost. It wasn't analyzed and blah, blah, blah. So I was about to do it. And I was about to do it. I was like, no, I've done this.
So hang on just a second. Remember your story. But
Yeah.
can I talk about something that's insane? That's just absolute insanity.
Yes, sir.
If we understand human nature, and they come up with a name for you to go lose more money, how much of a drug dealing kind of scenario is that? They got to come up with the name calling. Well, that's called revenge trading. Because why do they have to name it? Because so many people have done it for so long that that's exactly what it is. I just think that's insanity. But go ahead with your story, Manny.
So as I was about to do it, I reminisced on how many times I've done it. And then I'm just wishing for the best. I'm like, no, come back. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't want that energy around the kids. I don't want to have that energy throughout the day. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I put my phone away. I threw it somewhere. So that was Friday. So Sunday, I made a conscious decision to not, early in the morning, I said, today is going to be the best day of my life. I said, I don't want to go on a training. I don't want to see a chat. I don't want to go on a Zoom call. I don't want to open a book. I don't want to do nothing. I want to do absolutely nothing. Today is going to be the best day of my life. So we ended up having a barbecue with my parents and my wife and blah, 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 blah. And we were hanging out outside, and I ended up starting to drink with my mom. We were drinking wine.
Now the story's going to get good. Come on, baby.
And we're drinking wine, and about 4 hours later, we drank like 3 bottles of wine. And as we were drinking wine, right, I just kept staring at my mom, because she was feeling happy and she was dancing, and I just kept staring at her. And it was a breakthrough, but it kind of made me sad, because I consciously felt how much I was in the moment. Like I felt like I was really there. Like I wasn't thinking about anything else. I wasn't thinking about my wife. I wasn't thinking about my kids. I was just staring at my mom, and I was just really in that moment. Like, and then I kind of raced somewhere else to like, oh, how many people probably wish they could have this type of moment and etc. But I came back to it. I came back to just appreciating, just seeing, just us having a good time. And then we had a good time, and she had to carry her to the room. But it later, Monday morning, yesterday, I kind of reflected on it, and I wouldn't say a bad father, right? But I'll just call it a bad father. It made me realize how much, I guess, I tried to make myself feel like a good father by saying that I am in a moment. And I realized how much I'm not in a moment.
Right.
Because, like I said, I really felt it with my mom. Like, nothing else mattered but that very moment.
Yep.
So just going forward, I just really want to be more conscious. I know we talk about it all the time, and it doesn't matter how many times we talk about it, it never stays. Because if you summarize all of our calls, it always comes back to the same thing. In the moment, enjoy your misery, right? There's different words and different letters in the alphabet, but it always equals the same thing. And I just want to make a conscious effort to be better, because I've realized how many times I say I am in a moment and I'm really not.
Right.
Because I really felt the moment. I really felt that moment.
So follow me on this, Manny. When somebody else tells you in the moment, do you now have an experience that you can now say, you know what, you're really not in the moment? But if you stay in the moment, Manny, do you think they'll eventually get there?
Yes, sir.
So why do you think I did 460 calls so far? To get you to this moment. To get you to Sunday with your mom. See, when I sit in the moment here, and what Rhonda gets all, she goes, why don't they get it? I'm like, they get it. They get it. They're getting it. Because what happens is now, listen, you've crossed over. Because now you know what it's like. And now here's the thing. This is like true meditation. This is like a true moment. You're going to fight to get back to that moment. Oh, I got to get back in that moment. Do I need 4 more bottles of wine? What do I need? I got to get back in that moment. Right? You just need to breathe and choose joy. Because in the getting, in the fighting, in the push to go back to that moment, you can't. That moment's gone. You enjoyed it. Imagine if you were there with every breath. Welcome to my world. I'm more in the moment than I'm not. You get to be more in the moment. When you started to tear up a little bit about realizing you missed out on moments, you can keep tearing up, or you can start smiling and be in the moment. Right now, you can be the best dad at work. Why do you think my mantra is to be a better dad and better husband? It's because it's with every breath I take. I don't have to be physically with them to be a better dad. I don't have to physically be with my bride to be a better husband. I can do that by being in joy on this call and having a conversation with my little brother called Manny, who just awakened to his new moment. How you doing?
I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you because you just taught everybody. If anybody felt Manny's story, type an M in the chat for Manny. You see the chat, brother? This is what happens when you're vulnerable. You give other people strength. And you just did it. This is why we do these calls. This isn't to teach you how to trade. I don't know about trading. I think trading is crazy for people who trading to me is the equivalent of Vegas. Now, this is my opinion. Don't get mad at me. But when people who don't have money lose money, I think there's better ways for you to create income so that you don't lose money. And that's build people. That's my opinion. I'll help you all do better in what you do. I'll help you all enroll people. I don't know how to teach you how to trade better. This is not a trading call. I have no idea about any of that stuff. But I know that if you invest in people and you do it the way that serves them, that investment will pay you for the rest of your life. That's why you put all of your effort into your kids. you want them to have better than you have. That's how I treat my members, my teammates. I want them to have it better than I have. So Manny, thanks for being vulnerable, brother.
You got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
So let me ask you, what did you learn? What did you like from that experience with your mom?
I learned that 3 bottles of wine is the limit for her.
So that's what you learned. What'd you like? I like that I found out 4 bottles is a limit for me.
I like the breakthrough.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? And so ask yourself this question. The breakthrough came not because of the wine, because you decided the moment was more important. Now, the wine didn't hurt, but don't think that I don't need you to go home and all of a sudden in 2 weeks, you're like, man, I don't know about these calls, Sean. I can't. Oh, God dang, I'm like drunk every night.
No, that won't happen.
No, good. But here's how you can get drunk every night. Hug your little boy. Pet that hair that stands like up 7 inches tall.
We cut a little bit. We cut a little bit off. Yeah.
But just rub your hand over just the very top of that hair and realizing that you're at the edge of growth. And just get into the moment. And the way you sit right now at work lets him have a better day at home. Monique turned us into the AA meeting. Daily sobering. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Hi, I'm Sean Murphy, and I'm an addict. I'll be the first one to say it. Does that help, Manny?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I love you, brother. Thank you.
I love you too.
So I apologize, but Michelle Davis is going to be our last one today. Good morning, Michelle. Where is Michelle? Hello, Heather. It's so good to see Heather Love. Y'all send Heather love. She's getting close. And listen, any of you, if you're getting close to a rank, drop an R in the chat. Let us send some love to you. Heather's getting close to a rank in her business. And yeah, let us just send some love to all of you. You guys all deserve to hit your next rank advancement. Good morning, Michelle Davis. Where are you, my love? Let me see if I can unmute you here. Unmute.
I was unmuted. I apologize. I remuted myself, but we're good now. Let me turn my camera off because I'm upside down and all that good stuff.
Okay.
For Manny, first of all, thank you so much. To see the men on here open up is just amazing. And to be a better man just blows my mind that y'all are here. But I wanted to speak on the relationships. Last week it was brought up too about our relationships that we get in. And listen, I'm working on my master's degree and this relationship stuff not working. Okay. So I've got experience in this, but the thing that helped me the most was realizing and understanding that there is you, there is your mate. And like Sean said last week, when 2 minds come together, we create a third mind. It's the same thing in a relationship. There's me, there's my mate, and there's a relationship. And when you realize and can disassociate yourself from the relationship, it does make it easier to get over the heartbreak, the thoughts. You can still love that person. It's just, it didn't work. That third wheel of the relationship did not work for whatever reason. And I hold no ill will to any of my past relationships that don't work, that did not pan out for me. And I also see them as stepping stones. I always look to see what I can learn to take to my next relationship. But ladies and men as well, if you can realize there's you, your mate, and then the third wheel is that relationship, and disassociate yourself from the relationship. We get absorbed a lot of times and we feel we are that relationship, and we're not. And when like I said, when I learned about this, it has helped me so much to release. any ill will feelings, any heartbreak. Yeah, we do. Exactly, Daniela. We lose ourselves in that relationship. So always remember, you are always by yourself. Your mate is by themselves, and you come together to create a relationship. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Michelle, I appreciate that. Right? We've heard a lot of songs, and it's usually, sometimes it's even a wedding song. A man will leave his mother and a woman will leave his home. The two shall join together and become as one. I wish it was that easy, right?
Right.
But here's the thing.
And we do. I think, especially if you're big into romance, I think you do. You get lost in that one.
Yep.
And there never is one. You are your only one.
Right. And then, and here's the thing that I know: when I'm having a one-on-one with somebody, and when I hear a little bit of their life experiences, whether they've been ever let go from a job or they're kind of down on their luck right now, there may be just two of us on a Zoom, but there's probably 50 or 60 people on that Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so here's what I know, and I'll leave you guys with this today, and maybe we can talk more about it. But how many of you have ever been translated in your presentation? Not that you've had to speak a different language, but you've been translated. Somebody had to speak a language you didn't speak. This was one of the secrets that changed my success forever, is when I had to be translated. But then guess what happened? I learned the language, and nobody knew I was learning the language. And then as they started to translate for me, how much do you think, how often do you think you get translated word for word?
Never.
You never do. Now, the biggest challenge is how much do you think you get translated emotion for emotion?
Never.
So you add never and never together. What's the chance your message is going to get across?
Absolutely never.
So when you learn to speak the language, so what I've learned is when I would travel internationally and I would get translated into French or Portuguese or German or Swedish or there's a language, Norwegian. There's another. It's like this language that nobody even they don't want to speak it. It's so hard to speak it. But all of these different things, Serbian and Macedonia and different languages and Russian and German and all. You say a lot less to make sure the message means a lot more. And what happens is sometimes we talk too much. My daddy used to call it this: you buy back the sale. So it's important that we speak a little bit less and we let them understand a lot more. See, there's a conversation going on in the chat right now. Alex and Daniela, they both speak Serbian, and they're laughing with each other. And we're like, what the hell are those letters? Where do you even find a B with a hook on it and then a backwards end? Where do you even find that on your keyboard? You follow me? How many of you are trying to teach your keyboard how to speak your language? How many of you are trying to teach your text to speak your language? It comes across in the essence. So, Michelle, I appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate everybody showing up on the call today, asking their questions. We will do this again tomorrow. And listen, as you can see, people are wanting to hack this. So we get here a little early, and we'll lock it and we'll let in the people we know. And if you don't know it, send me a message if you know me. Tell me about something that you learned on the call today so that I know that we can at least let you in. But I do these calls with 20 people. I'm okay with that. I'm not here to do numbers. I don't need 1,000 people on my call. I just need the people who want to show up and have a conversation with us, because people, listen, do you see that? People want to tear this down. That's okay. Just know that there's two ways to have the tallest building in town. Build yours bigger or tear everybody else's down. I want you to build yours bigger. I love you tons. I appreciate you all. I'm Sean Murphy. RBP, where are you?
I'm right here.
I almost did the unthinkable.
It's fine. Real quick.
Yeah.
Can y'all do me a favor? Because I'm trying to let Sean speak, so I'm trying to behind the scenes let everybody in. Can y'all please? I know y'all are so creative and so amazing. Can y'all please change your Zooms to your name so I don't have to sit there and go, I'm down with profits. Do I know I'm down with profits? I don't know if I know I'm down. And I have to like analyze your names. Can you please, for this little East Texas mama, just put your Zoom name as your name so I can identify you and get you in here quickly? Because I probably kicked some people out that really wanted to be in here. But if you pop up and your name looks sketchy, I ain't letting you in. So just a little bit of housekeeping. That's like, I love y'all. I love y'all. And then real quick, I wrote this down. It's simple. This hit me, and it hit me a while back too. It's simple. Stay in the moment. Stay in the now. Remain in joy, and remain thankful. And those three little things, and trust me, the last couple days, it's been challenging. All right. I don't need no judging, Sean Murphy. You just shut your mouth right now. Just zip it. Zip it, brother. Zip it. I don't need to know. No.
So here's the thing. If as simple as those three things are, if we did those, and I say we, including me, literally, listen to me, they would build statues to you. Einstein said, make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler.
Well, I ain't in no statue running at the moment. I'm going to work on that one, all right? It's coming. It's coming. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you step out into the flow of where you're designed to be, everything in the cosmos will come at you. Everything. And it'll find sly ways to get in. Ways that you don't think are ends, it'll find it. And to take it back to simplicity of stay in the moment, remain in joy, and remain thankful. It's challenging to do that until it's not. And I'm learning how to get there faster. And I'm learning how to get back there quicker. So then I have all these other questions. And I was sitting here asking which one would be the one to share with y'all. But then I saw this and I wrote this down. So yesterday, my 8-year-old little girl lost a tooth and she had the best time. It just dangled. She's like the kind where it just like is dangling, like you can twist it and you can bend it all the way up and you can.
Now thank you. Everybody's just going,
I don't care. Y'all deal with it. Y'all be all right. So it's just kind of sitting there. And she finally, when she got in the shower, she finally pulled it. And it was like super easy to pull. So that's what hit me listening to this phone call was my daughter's growing. She's losing teeth. She's changing. She's excited for change and welcomes the change. When do we stop enjoying the change? When do we stop letting go of what we don't need and what doesn't serve us any longer? Imagine if we kept all that we don't need as children. Imagine all the teeth we'd have, y'all. We'd have 2 sets of teeth, like crazy stuff. And can we open our hands? Yeah, can we open our hands and allow all that needs to go to leave? And as we do, can we not grasp at it? Can we not pull it back? So I'm listening to some of these conversations from a different perspective because of working with Sean one-on-one all the time. He doesn't get a moment, y'all. He literally, I don't think he gets an hour in his day that I'm not in his ear or his face or something. And I do that intentionally because that keeps me growing, that keeps me learning, that keeps me striving forward, and it keeps me present too. And it keeps me with someone in my life to help me let go of the things that don't serve me anymore. I would challenge you, who do you have in your life that'll help you do that? That will help you stay focused in Yeah, I got Sean on speed dial. Sean probably wishes I'd lose his number, but he can't get rid of me. But who do you have? And then I'd question you with this. Before you pick that person, are they capable of being picked for that role in your life? Because you got to do some dissecting of who you are and who they are, where they're going, what they're feeding themselves, what they're looking for. And Sean he toys with death every now and then, because he stands me up and he tries to, let's go toe to toe, girl. And I'm like, dude, I will cut you. Do not piss me off right now. Matter of fact, I told him yesterday he had to just shut up and listen to me. And of course he laughed, but it did. I just told him he had to shut up and listen to me. And then later on, after I threw my fit and I pouted, he giggled at me and he lined me out. So I would challenge you, find somebody like that. If you don't have somebody like that, ask God to bring somebody to you like that. That's what I did, and Sean Murphy showed up into my life. And although I'm sitting here chattering away at the moment, I do a lot of listening around Sean. I've done more listening around Sean than I have anybody ever in my life. And if they're worth listening to, then shut up and listen. And don't take them for granted. Let them in. Sean's safe. This is safe. I could go a bunch of different places, but I feel like that's a great place to stop right now. So y'all know I love you. We're human. Sean's human. I'm human. I'm real human. And Sean probably appears far more perfect than I do. But y'all, neither Sean nor I are perfect. We have our days. Sean has moments. I will have a day. Sean will get his head cleared in a few moments and then be done. I'll have a day. So we're real, and it's okay to be real.
My hat on sideways and away we go.
Yeah. Yes. And he'll show up on a Zoom like that with new people, y'all. With new people. Yes, he will. He will take any kind of professionalism right out the window. Like, it's gone. But we have a lot of fun.
I was thinking about getting a new nose ring. What do y'all think?
And we've come up, y'all, there's times where we have Zoom calls and we've come up with some crazy things to do on this call. We haven't done it yet, but I'm going to talk him into it. So I love y'all. I hope in some way, form, or fashion, what goes on inside my head and comes out of my mouth helps you. And if I can ever be of assistance or serve you, y'all holler at me. I know sometimes it's hard to reach me, but holler at me and keep hollering at me. So I love y'all. Thanks, Sean.
I love y'all. Thank y'all for your energy. Thank you for your joy. Thank you for your messages. And if nobody's told you yet today, you are absolutely amazing. You're one of a kind. Then let me be the first. And I hope it's one of many thousands of times today you'll hear that.
Yeah. And real names. Real names coming into Zoom. Yes. Please, for the love of God, y'all don't hurt this East Texas mama anymore. I can barely say half your names. Please, real names. I love y'all.
Love y'all. And so with that being said, I'll see y'all where? At the next event. If you can unmute, go ahead and unmute and tell you and send some love to each other. Let me see. Let me just do it for you. Unmute all.
Love you.
There you go.
Love you. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Love y'all. Have a great day.
See y'all.